Scrunchies. So I made these scrunchies about a year ago when I wanted something soft to put in my hair when I was sleeping. And I've started to wear them every day. And when I would wear a hair thing, I would always get that mark on my wrist because it was always too tight. And some days I wouldn't even put my hair up, but it's that like security thing of having a hair tie around your wrist. Scrunchies don't do that. They don't leave a mark. They're really soft. I have so much scrap fabric, and scrunchies are a great way to get rid of that fabric. So today I want to make more scrunchies in 3 sizes. I want to make one a little bigger than this. I want to make one maybe this size. And then I want to make a really small one that's more like a hair tie. And I think for that one, I want to hand sew it. So if you're watching and you don't have a sewing machine, you can make your own scrunchie just with a needle and thread. And it takes about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. So I will show you that stitch. So without further ado, let's start making some scrunchies. So for today's project, I'm going to be making 3 different size scrunchies. They are all going to be 19 inches long. The large is going to be 5 inches wide. The medium is going to be 3 inches wide, and the small is only going to be 1.5 inches wide. So that means I'm going from this to this. I didn't have a continuous green piece that was long enough, so I had to stitch 2 pieces together, which is fine because you won't see the seam when it's all scrunched up. I also cut 3 7-inch elastics. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the short edges together. So for the large scrunchie, that's going to be the 5-inch side. And for the medium scrunchie, that's going to be the 3-inch side. So just to make a loop. Next, I'm going to take it to my iron and I'm going to press the seam open to reduce bulk. And then I'm going to fold in the edges about 1/2 inch because I'm going to be sewing those together to close up the scrunchie. So I'm going to be doing that on my large scrunchie and on my medium scrunchie. Watching this part is making me think that the green fabric would actually make a really cool headband too. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see me make some headbands in some different styles. And now I have my 2 scrunchies all pressed, ready to sew. So I'm going to sew on the folded edge to enclose the inside of the scrunchie, but I'm going to make sure to leave about 1 inch to 2 inches so I can feed the elastic through. Now to pull this elastic through the scrunchie, I'm going to be using this elastic bodkin that I have. You can use a safety pin if that's what you have, but I think this is a great tool to feeding elastic through. So the way I do it is I grab the end of the elastic with my pinky to hold it to make sure it doesn't go through, and then I just loosen it up as I go. You can also use a bobby pin to secure the end of the elastic to make sure it doesn't pop through your scrunchie. Now I'm going to tie a really tight knot, make sure it's not coming undone, and then I'm going to snip the edges of the elastic so it's not too bulky. Whoa, that one popped. Let's see how this one goes. Woo, that was a little pop. So that's my large scrunchie. Oh, she's looking so cute. And then I'm going to sew that closed. And do the same thing for my medium-sized scrunchie. All right, I just cut that part out because I did lose the elastic. I had to go fishing for it. I didn't think that you guys wanted to see that, but that is what happened. But I found it again, I put the knot in, and then I cut the ends to reduce the bulk. And now I'm going to sew that scrunchie closed. Oh, and she's looking cute too. Okay, for my last scrunchie, I am actually going to be hand sewing it. And I know what some of you are thinking, why are you going to hand sew something if you have a sewing machine and can just do it quickly on the machine? And that's how I thought when I first started sewing. But there is something so satisfying by doing something with just a needle and thread, using your hands and creating something. And there's a lot of times that I'm watching TV or relaxing and I want to just be watching TV, but I also want to be doing something with my hands. And a lot of times when I'm in the sewing studio, like I have to focus on using the machines, using the serger. And I thought it'd be nice just to have a simple project that I could do with my hands. I should do with my hands. So I'm going to show you the stitch that I'm going to use. So if you don't have a sewing machine at home, but want to just try this, all you need is a needle, thread, maybe a thimble to protect your finger. But if you're using something soft, you know, like a really soft fabric, you're not really going to need a thimble. So let me show you the back stitch. Okay, I have my embroidery hoop here just so I can show you an example of the back stitch. I have one strand of thread with a knot, and then the other end is just loose. So I'm going to come in through the back, pull tight, and make one stitch. Now, I'm going to come in through the back, and I want to land about the same length to keep the stitches even. So about there. Come through, and then sew back to meet up with the other stitch. And that's why it's called a back stitch. So again, come up through, pull tight, and go down by that other stitch. So obviously my stitches are going to be smaller since I'm working with smaller fabric. I just want you to be able to see them. And I'll be able to follow the line of the seam folded over to make my lines straighter. But it also doesn't really matter if they're perfectly straight because, you know, it's going to be a scrunchie. The fabric's going to be scrunched. By now, the word scrunchie has lost all of its meaning. But I'm so happy with how they turned out. I think they're so cute. I love the fabric that I used. Whoa, flying scrunchie. I love this smaller one that's more of a hair tie that I hand sewed. It feels very satisfying. Yeah, and now I have 5 scrunchies that I can add to my stash. I hope you enjoyed watching, following along. And yeah, if you want to see a hairband tutorial, I already have some ideas in my head of the different kinds of headbands I want to make, because I think this fabric would look really cute in a headband. You see it? All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.